Okay, so we will be doing the Rise of Bangtan Chapter 6 live right here, right now on Twitch. And this whole stream is thanks to actually 3 individuals I just want to give a quick shout out to before we even begin this thing. Susie, Sue, and K Venus. These 3 incredibly kind human beings put together these fantastic lists for me and make this a much more enjoyable experience for everybody to watch and enjoy, because they keep me on track and put these playlists together and help me with explanations and all sorts of fun stuff. So honestly, if you enjoy my content, it's probably due to these 3 ladies. Honestly, they're incredibly kind and they're incredibly helpful, it's been a beautiful experience working with them. If you'd like to be a part of our community and like to be a part of my journey, what we're doing, check out our Discord. You know, that's where we mostly hang out, watch movies together, and talk about TV, music, all sorts of fun stuff. But Discord's probably the best way to get in touch with me, the best way to get in touch with the community and figure out, hey, what's going on? What's happening with this community? We also have, obviously, the Twitch link, which you're here right now. If you like this sort of thing, I have more creative control over here. Consider following this Twitch. Then what else do I have to plug? Oh, yeah, my Patreon. If you want to see a bunch of BTS stuff, behind the scenes reactions, I think I'm up to like 16 different reactions that are on Patreon that aren't on YouTube right now. So if you do like my BTS stuff and you do like that kind of stuff, there's a ton of reactions over there as well. But what do you say we get right on into this? I've kept you guys waiting long enough, all right? I don't like doing this. Here we go. This is the Rise of Bangtan Chapter 6 Cypher. Let's go. Let's go. Thanks for coming over here to Twitch, guys. I appreciate it. Looks intense, right? Smashing that piano with a baseball bat. Thanks, Bets. Christmas has exploded in my home.
자, 호텔 온 소감. Wow, man! Oh my goodness! Yo, 러시아 호텔 도착. 빠밤, 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 빰, 빠다다다다단, 따다다다단.
Just kicking in a Russian hotel.
해가 또 있어요.
여기 러시아는 베개가 있어서 11시까지 해가 안 진다고 해요.
풍경사진 엄마한테 보냈어. 안녕하세요.
빠빠빠빠. 야, 역시 여기서까지 작업을 하고 있는 멋진 인터내셔널 글로벌 작업. 뭐 하고 있어요 지금? 뭐 하고 있어요? 모스크바에 오자마자 지금 운동하고 있는 거야 지금? 설마? 아니 저 깜짝 놀라서 여기 저 짐도 있다는데 짐 가서 하시죠.
짐이요? 갈 거예요.
헬스 갈 거예요?
갈 거예요.
Although their schedule is finished for the day, they still have things to do.
자, 딱 정해진 3명.
The final element in nurturing a star is the constant effort put in by the stars themselves.
오케이. 오케이. 이렇게.
To keep their place as a star, it may mean having to work harder than the apprentices. They must work hard in order to shine as long as they want.
The group had practiced for more than 16 hours a day while preparing for their new album, and even while they were touring abroad, the boy band rented out rehearsal spaces in each country.
자다가도 정말 나올 진짜 그 정도로까지 연습을 한 것 같아요.
저희가 또 저희 안무 중에 퍼포먼스 중에 굉장히 또
Really?
힘든 안무로 손꼽히는 안무라서.
This is what I was talking about. And one of the things I find incredibly impressive about these guys is the wild work ethic. You know, how much they actually put into everything. The announcer here was just saying that they rent out studio spaces in every country they go to. So when they're not performing, they can continue to keep practicing. They were saying they can pretty much do it in their sleep at this point. One thing I found surprising about this as well was I was just watching the guys working out, you know, lifting weights and doing stuff like that. And I mean, if you're practicing 16 hours a day, I mean, you're essentially just burning calories all day. I mean, is that overkill to be working out on top of that? I don't know. Maybe not, but I feel like you'd probably be pretty tired or too tired to work out, but apparently not. The work ethic, it's one of the main things so far that I've seen from these guys. It's been both inspiring and really cool to watch. I wish I had that sort of work ethic.
기억에 많이 남는 것 같아요.
제일 기억에 남는 거는 그
They must have been exhausted.
연습실이 있었어.
맞아요.
근데 거기서 진짜 멤버들 다 잠 못 자고 막
Hopefully that Discord link is working now, Susie.
했었어야 되는데 그때 멤버들이랑 너무 졸리니까 막 화장실 가가지고 막 쪽잠 자고 몰래 자다가
Sleeping in the bathrooms.
그때 성국생이
원래 방탄소년단 친구들이 지금처럼 이렇게 춤을 다 잘 추는 친구들이 아니었었어요. 그래서 저는 그래도 좀 퍼포먼스적으로 완성도가 높은 그룹을 좀 만들고 싶어서 어떠한 콘텐츠를 가지고 와서 얼마만큼 잘하냐의 싸움인 것 같아요. 뭐 그게 곧 경쟁력이 되는 것 같고 무대를 퍼포먼스를 어떻게 잘 녹이냐가 그냥 경쟁력이 되는 것 같아요. 물론 다른 가수들도 되게 열심히 하겠지만 엄청난 연습량으로 좀 많이 극복을 한 팀인 것 같아요.
You have to remember that a lot of these are youngsters who are also trying to get some of their education done at the same time. So the pressures on these people are immense. You know, everybody wants, you know, the singers to be successful, but we don't want to crush them in the meantime.
정말 간절했죠.
그치.
세상에 이렇게 열심히 노력해도 안 되는 게 있구나를 처음 알았죠.
얼른 일찍 가서 다들 푹 쉬도록 하시고요.
오케이.
내일 좋은 컨디션으로 만나도록 하시죠.
그래, 다들 수고했다.
수고했다.
요즘 고민이 있다. 뭐 요즘 나는 뭘 하면 좋을까라는 그런 고민이 있다. 뭐 춤이면 춤, 랩이면 랩. 뭐 그런 실력적인 부분에서 뭔가 좀 더 연습을 해서 더 좋은 모습을 보여드리고 싶은데 뭐 마음만 앞선다고 되는 것도 아니고 그런 거 같다.
Doesn't happen overnight.
모르겠다. 진짜 어떻게 해야 될지. 제 옆에 고민 누굴. 그래.
Oh man. Poor J-Hope. You know, it's one of those things like we just talked about their work ethic, how hard they're working, what they're putting into this. Like the 18-hour days I saw in chat. It's absolutely wild. Now, you want to basically look at that from that angle. You're doing something for 18 hours a day and you see very little progress. You know, it's so easy to be discouraged, and that's what he was kind of doing. I love these little vlogs, these little things that they do, because it really kind of gives us a sneak peek as to like what they were thinking about, what was going through their mind during this basic era of BTS history. And they're very candid about everything. They're very honest and they're very humble about what they're saying. They're not just talking about like, yeah, we're going to kill it. We're going to go out there and destroy it. And I have the utmost confidence. Like, yeah, sometimes they get confident, whatever. But it's these little moments right here, these little glimpses of like their personality and who they are as people that really, I don't know, it makes it a little bit more endearing for me. It makes it more enjoyable to watch because it feels like I'm watching actual human beings that are really just putting everything on the line. And, you know, just like every other human being, sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes progress is slow. So I just wanted to stop and say that real quick. I think these little vlog things are awesome. I'm glad they do them. I'm glad that we have so much of this kind of content because they're really following them by album and seeing how they progress even on this little vlog camera and stuff. Like you can see their personalities not quite changing, but almost developing or getting stronger. Yeah, I think developing is probably the right word to use. But I just wanted to say that. But that's a cute little moment, and it's an endearing little moment, I think.
이게 공평할 수 없는 게임이란 건 알았어. 널 이기고 싶던 건 아니었지만 계속 지고 싶지도 않았어. 조금은 달달하게 막대가 쏟아지진 않아도 남들처럼 발짝 닦이고 때론 위로와 진심을 담았어. 그러니까 제발 모르는 사람 보는 듯한 눈빛으로 날 보지마. 자꾸 내가 내게 아무것도 어디는 그때가 생각나니까. What if I'm to you, girl? What if I'm to you? I do love you crazy. Do you? 이랬다 저랬다 사람 맘 좀 헷갈리게 하지마. 자꾸 이따시 이거는 계약서에 도장 찍자. 하루에 뽀뽀 몇번 카톡 몇번 그렇게까지 해놓은 속도 좀 시원해질까. What if I to you, girl? What if I to you? I do love you crazy. To you.
Damn, that's an intense track. That's a track you don't really hear, or at least I haven't heard from BTS, you know, often, or that style, at least that rasp in his voice. You know, it just sounds like it's a little bit more intense. A lot of what we hear from BTS is like very fast, very rhythmic rapping mixed with very beautiful melodies and harmonies. Very rarely, or at least very rarely so far that I've heard, is some actual rasp. It sounds like angst. That's whatever he was talking about there. And I'm not sure what part of that album it's going to be on, but it sounds like that's coming from a very dark personal place. Like, it sounds like he's singing from his gut. I don't want to say he's singing off key because it's more of a rap anyway. But whatever he's getting into right there seems like it means a lot to him, and he's very passionate about it. And you can tell just from the rasp and almost what sounds like almost anger in his voice. Let's continue though.
Let's go.
You love the growl.
랍을 나십니까? 난 왜 항상 나십니까? 그렇네. 아니야. 하루 운동하면 팔이 나옵니까?
Yeah, arm is one of my favorites so far. They must be going up to some kind of show.
거친이막 제이홉이에요. 거친 막내 정국이요.
안녕하세요. 다크앤와이드로 돌아온 뜨겁고 어두운 매력 지민입니다.
그냥 지민이에요. 가요.
아미가 경찰을 신청한다.
컴백하니까 기분이 지금 굉장히 좋은데 너무 떨려서 지금 이걸 기분 좋다 해야 될지 떨린다 해야 될지 지금 와 심장 박동이 막.
He doesn't even know how he's feeling.
네, 모니터 할게요.
네? 해보니까 어때요? 뭔가 생각보다 더 빡 해야 될 것 같다는 생각이 들어요. 아직 좀 약하네요. 뭐 100%는 다 안 보였지만 그래도 진짜 할 때는 좀 더 세게 해야 될 것 같아요. 어려운데 해내야 됩니다. 무조건 해야 되니까.
왜 내 맘을 흔드는 건데?
가요계를 뒤흔드는 강력한 카리스마 방탄소년단.
둘셋 방탄. 안녕하세요 방탄소년단. 이번 타이틀곡 댄저 어떤 곡이에요? 제가 한번 랩으로 한번 소개를 해드릴게요. Yo, 요즘 여자들은 자꾸 우리를 시험해. 그래서 우리가 경고하지 너 좀 위험해. 그래서 노래 제목이 바로 Danger Danger. 우리가 좀 세졌어 Power Ranger Ranger. Yo, 우리가 작곡하고 우리가 가사 써. Hey babe. 헷갈리게 하지 마.
Here we go.
데인저는 이제 상남자의 연장선 같은 노래인데요.
이번 앨범을 준비하면서 굉장히 좀 어느 앨범 때보다 고생을 많이 했던 것 같아요.
They've become so big overseas.
They had a deal with Universal Music, and that was their main focus. More than promoting in the country, they wanted to make sure their market base was more international.
Is this the one they're talking about, Danger, the choreography that was one of like the toughest choreography they had ever had to do? If so, I definitely want to see that. Maybe there's like a dance practice video, like one of those one-shot tripod videos that shows it all in unison, all happening in one shot. Those are so fun to watch. Yes, there is. Hell yeah. All right, I will 100% be checking that out. I'm very excited to see that. There's a dance practice video. Thank you so much. Thank you, people.
Set quite some impressive records here in Korea, and they're also very well known overseas as well.
They were the only Korean singers to be invited to a Korean culture festival in Moscow in June to celebrate Korea and Russia's 24th anniversary. In Japan as well, the group held their first fan meet back in June too, with some 5,000 fans attending. Not only in Korea they got the Newcomer Award here, but in April of this year in China they actually won the Newcomer Award. Also in Europe as well too.
So they're exploding. The hard work is paying off.
It has been slightly over a year
Yes, it
since
is,
they
Susie.
debuted back in June of 2013, but the boy band BTS has established itself as one of the next generation stars, boasting their popularity in the US, Europe, Japan, and other countries.
Man, they love you, yo. They love you.
BTS is rapidly advancing to the top in the K-pop industry, taking on not only the local music fans, but also a much broader fan base from many other countries around the world.
Nice. This part like gives me chills. It gives me chills because everything we've seen up to this part has been, you know, them pouring themselves out, blood, sweat, and tears, everything on the line, and them kind of, you know, getting some recognition. You know, these little mini albums doing, you know, fairly well, and slowly building their army of fans. But from this little clip we saw right here, it looks like things are starting to become an international success. Like their fan base is just exploding. And it's great to see, especially since everything we've seen so far, you know, the trials, the tribulations, and how hard they basically had to claw their way up to this point. So seeing some success behind them now, some, you know, major international success, is really cool. And like I said, it gives me chills. It's awesome to see. Let's continue. This is what I was waiting for. We all knew it was coming. You know, they're massive, but now we're starting to see it.
아쉬워요? 네. 너무 힘들어. 너무 힘들어서 끝까지 집중 못했더라고요. 그게 조금 아쉬운데.
Jesus.
제가 마이크 고장난 게 한 3-4개 정도 될 거예요, 땀 때문에.
Oh no.
하루에 16시간씩 연습.
얘기하고 있어요.
저희 3개.
That's what I'm talking about. Like these performances, you know, they're moving around. They're practicing like 16 to 18 hours a day. Like, why do you need to be lifting? Why do you need to be working out? You're already doing so much cardio, man.
5개국을 돌면서 연습을 했는데 안녕히 계세요.
맞아, 얘기하고 왔어.
이 친구가?
안녕하세요. 저희는 가고 있습니다.
세계 최고 가수가 되려면요, 옛날부터 이런 방식입니다. 우선 방송사에서 탁 떠야 돼요. 그죠? 와, 음악을 들었더니 너무 좋더라. 너도 들어봐야 돼. 그럼 방송 쫙 듣고 TV, 라디오에서 엄청난 인기가 폭발하면 음반이 팔리고 돈이 됩니다. 그럼 그 가수를 배출한 기획사가요, 그 자본을 바탕으로 세계로 진출하자. 이게 정석이에요.
대형 기획사는 한번 밀면 엄청 많이 밀어주니까 기사 같은 것도 약간 더 잘 써달라고 해주고 기사도 약간 되게 많이 내주고 소속사 이름이 같이 나오면 아무래도 좀 더 뜨게 되니까.
You know, obviously that big money promotion does come with its drawbacks as well. You know, you're essentially tied into a ton more contracts. You owe a ton more money. Your deadlines are even more insane, and you essentially have to create a product that these, you know, publishers and labels and giant media companies feel confident in selling. And sometimes by doing so, you have to sacrifice your voice and your art. So there are some serious drawbacks to it, and this is one of the reasons I am fascinated with BTS, is the fact that they, you know, their journey with big hit entertainment and how small of a company that is. So I mean, there's some drawbacks to it, there's some positives to it, but obviously it's just you know, when you're new, you know, when you have that shiny contract in front of you saying, hey, we'll put you on the radio, we're gonna put you on all the TV shows, and you know, we're gonna get your face out there. Sometimes you're just so hungry to get to that point that you'll just sign anything, and I've seen it happen a million times with friends, family, with lots of people close to me. And it's great for the first year, and then you're in debt for the next 10 years, and it goes nowhere, and then it spins out of control because by trying to appease these giant media companies, you're creating something that they think is marketable. And like I said, sometimes that means you have to put either a filter on your art, and that basically makes your fan base, you know, lose interest in you because like, oh, okay, well, you're just a shill for this company, essentially, even if they don't realize that's what's happening. But I know that there's issues. I know from talking to lots of you guys that BTS has had issues with award shows, that they've had issues with getting on radio and TV shows and stuff like that. And that's probably because they're not connected to these massive media companies. I'm assuming that's probably what they're going to talk about right here. So I'm just going to let the video play. But I just wanted to interject and say that there are some major drawbacks to signing with a massive media company.
어떤 기획사가 미디어하고 연결되어 있고 돈을 가지고 있어서 섭외를 해가지고 방송에 내보내고 라디오에 보내고 아니었거든요. 자본과 미디어가 없는, 미디어 권력이 없는 아주 작은 규모의 회사였기 때문에 이 방송 시스템 속에서 제대로 노출될 수가 없었다라는 점.
방탄소년단이 크는 데 있어서 음악 기존 유통사들은 돈도 못 벌었어요. 그냥 구경만 하고 있었죠.
그런 힘 1도 없이 오로지 정말 아무 별 볼 일 없는 보통 사람들이 집단적으로 연대해서 이루어낸 풀뿌리 문화 운동이었습니다.
진짜 키운 건 누구냐? 자본이 아니고 1,400만 명의 팬덤, 아미가 키운 겁니다.
I've been supporting them since debut. I love their meaningful songs. Seeing how passionate and hardworking and talented they are really inspired me to work for my dreams.
We are big fans of BTS. We love you guys. We are so out there. Yeah.
Is that BTS reacting to people saying they love them? Are those videos out there somewhere? They had some very genuine smiles here. There's also something really endearing about starting with nothing. You know, starting with a company like Big Hit that literally doesn't have much money at all to being stuck in these rooms, you know, like sharing bunk beds with 7 other dudes. Like the American Hustle life thing. I was blown away by the first time they came to America that they were still in bunk beds in this crappy little room. And it wasn't until chat and you guys started telling me, it's like, look, their company doesn't have much money up to this point. They haven't really turned much of a profit. They're kind of scraping by, and it's because they're such a small company. But again, I want to reiterate, by working with such a small company like that, by being intertwined with management at that kind of level, you've got so much more freedom and creative control. And I think it's just another layer adding to the endearing story of BTS's growth, is working with a small company like this and getting to where they're at right now. Because really what that comes down to is it's not big media company money. It's them themselves putting the time, the effort, and the energy into their art, into their live vlog video series, to all of this, working those 18, 19-hour days. Like, it's coming down to literally just being on their shoulders, connecting with the army, and building it up like a grassroots movement, like they were just saying. It's a fantastic story.
We run a fan base called BTS here to support you and to share the fun below. Yay! We love you!
Yeah, I think they are. They're reacting to people to say they love them. Such sweet moments.
I was always bullied, and then I heard your songs and it made the day so much better, and I have to say thank you so much for helping me through high school.
You're welcome, Nene.
I'm your angel. 여러분들의 박수가 있기에 더 많은 대중분들과 팬분들에게 관심과 집중을 받지 않나 싶습니다.
저희 또한 저희 팬분들도 부끄럽지 않게 조금 더 주위를 돌아보고 좀 더 관심을, 좋은 일, 나누는 일에 관심을 가져보는 그런 계기가 되도록 하겠습니다.
Good deeds, huh? Need to get into some kind of charity work here?
사람 한 명.
죄송합니다.
안녕하세요 할머니.
안녕하세요 할머니.
들어가도 될까요?
혼자 사는 할머니를 위해 든든한 식자재를 챙겨온 멤버들.
They said the grandmothers who live alone. Maybe this is a cultural thing. Do they just call everybody grandmother, or is it one of their actual grandmothers? I guess I can just watch and find out.
많으신 것 같아요 할머니.
보잘것없는 사람들한테 상당한 고맙습니다.
Cultural thing. Yes, they are. Okay, hold on. Let me read chat here. Yes, they do. So they just call everybody grandmother, like kind of like how they have like, you know, terms for like old people that are older than them. Interesting. Let me take that one back here a little bit. Sweet little moment here. Get you thin, grandma.
보잘것없는 사람들한테 상당한 고맙습니다.
Look at them putting that nonsense, putting that unworthy people, and they all immediately just jump on like, no. Like, man, it's just one of the cool things about them. Everything seems so humble and it seems so real. This doesn't seem like it's a media spot. Like, it's not, there's no photo op here happening. This is, like, obviously there's a camera, but like, I don't know. It something about them just seems real. So they're delivering food. Look at my nephews.
저도 할머니가 생각나서 가장 오래 사신 분 혹시 어디 계시는지?
70년을 사셨다고.
너 같은 할머니가 제일 오래 살았어.
노학사 할머니가 이 동네에서 가장
So they're in some kind of grandmother compound.
오래 살았다고 하시더라고요.
It does. Feels real and genuine.
좋은 집에 아들들이 와서 어떻게 해?
네, 노학사 할머니 나이세요?
예.
그럼 저희 네 전달 네.
너가 없으니까
네.
이런 데서 살아. 여기서 사는 사람 봤어? 못 봤지? 23살에 나와서
네.
여기 양평길동에서 살아.
Jeez, it's been there for 50 years.
8.15 해방되고서 나왔어. 8.15.
슈가가 이렇게 사이즈에 맞춰서
They're cleaning your house?
자르면 같이 슈가랑 같이 이렇게 일단 벽부터 닦고 아무리 고생을 해도 전 그저 기쁘죠. 저희는 태양님과 겨울에만 따뜻하게 지내신다.
Oh my god. They're not just throwing money at this problem. They're not just saying, hey, let's just get a couple of meal kits and drop it off to the elderly folks. They're literally in this small apartment scrubbing the walls. Man, that warms my heart. That warms my heart right there. What is this?
역시 떠오르는 대세 아이돌답게 인기가 대단하네요.
2014년 9월 10일 지민과 전국의 심심한 로그 데뷔하고 이제 첫 휴가이자 첫 휴가 진짜 정확하게 48시간. 그치. 일단 아버지를 만나서 이 안경을 쓰고 머리를 이렇게 까고 길거리를 돌아다니는데 아무도 모르더라고. 꿈만 같던 휴가와 추석이 지나갔고 다시 이제 VTL 준비가
The heck is Chuseok?
곧 있으면 콘서트지? 네, 콘서트. 이 콘서트 때 한 칼을 보여주기
Exactly, Bray.
열심히 준비하러.
저는 대본까지 같이 하는 연습은 처음.
Well, it's good to hear, you know, that he at least got 48 hours to spend with his family. I think in chapter 5, like, they kind of broke down a little bit, talking about how it had been, like, years since some of them had been home. So I'm glad they at least got a 2-day break.
한마디 더 맙시던가 해서.
It's an autumn holiday? Thank you. Korean Thanksgiving.
셀르막들끼리만 참.
I know this one. Well, that's Danger. Yeah, so they were saying Danger is the most complicated choreography they've done up to this point. So I'm not sure if they have a music video for that one or what, but maybe I can fit that in if I don't see anything on the list. Yeah, I see you guys in chat. Chat is basically telling me, you know, up until this point, like, even though they're starting to get international success, they're not really going to have any real money for another 2 years or so, as far as the BTS timeline goes. So they can't exactly just throw money at a problem and fix it. But I mean, I'd almost rather them just see this, you know, going to a small apartment and literally cleaning the walls. Like, that is such a man, it's I don't even have the right words for it. It's just absolutely beautiful, you know? I mean, everyone says they want to make a difference, they want to change, and they want to do, you know, they want to do a positive change for their people, but they're literally out there putting elbow grease into the problem. Literally warmed my heart.
큰일 났네. 일어설 때 힘든
Screwed.
거에 본 공연은 거의 한 3배 정도 힘든 것 같거든요. 큰일 났네요. 3배 정도 힘든다는 건
Oh no.
상상도 못하겠네요. 질문해 주세요.
힘들어요?
아니요, 안 힘든데요. 아직 힘든 거가 아직 안 왔어요.
과연 얼만큼 왔을까? 얼만큼 찼을까? 우리 아미 여러분들은 다 채워주셨을 거예요. 그죠? 저는 그렇게 믿어요.
저도 믿고 있는데 저는 개인적으로 사이퍼.
사이퍼 형이 없잖아.
Me too, buddy.
괜찮아요. 이게 어떻게 되냐면 저희들이 음악 방송에서는 저희들이 타이틀만 하잖아요. 근데 저희들의 수록곡도 많이 좋잖아요. 솔직히 개인적으로 저는 수록곡이 더 좋다고 생각해요. 힙성.
Okay, so I did not know that. So the shows that they've been doing, they're essentially only, their time slot probably only allows them to play the singles or the songs, that do well on the albums. But, in most cases with musicians, like the singles are usually kind of their least favorite songs, honestly. They usually like the deep cuts. We've been listening to a lot of these deep cuts. We've been listening to the SoundCloud cuts. We've been listening to the albums in their entirety. And this is it right here. This is that confirmation I was looking for, that the artist really wants to share, more than just the singles. They want to share their deep cuts. And they even, a lot of times, think that they're better than the singles themselves. And that's why I like listening to the albums from start to finish, because that's where you get those deep cuts. That's where you get the, the vibe of the entire album. It looks like at this point, they're finally starting to get to the point where they can start playing some of these songs that might not be, necessarily singles or songs you hear everywhere, but the songs that maybe mean more to them, or they're just prouder of them, or they just think they're better songs. But that's kind of cool.
다 다르구나.
Tomorrow's good.
다 좋네. 우리 이거 너무 좋네.
I hear a lot of people talking about Rain.
들으면
Yeah.
1등 하겠네.
저희들의 수록곡도
All right, so they got some kind of show coming up here, and they're gonna be able to play non-singled songs. That's always nerve-wracking as well. Whenever you're like debuting new songs that aren't the singles that have been, spread around and people know, when you're playing like the more, I don't want to say B-sides, but the stuff that's just lesser known, live for the first time, like it's always a risk, You want to play, the songs that like, everybody knows and like they're ready to sing along with you. But when you're putting yourself, when you play these other songs, like it's a risk, because people might not like them. And it's always a bummer when you love a song that you wrote and you're like passionate about it and you play it live and it's a complete dud. So it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. Plus it's new choreography and stuff, I'm assuming, that has to go along with these songs. So there's probably a lot more layers to this than I'm even realizing. All right, so 3 concerts total. Total Army 5,000. All right, so they got 3 concerts coming up with 5,000 people in attendance. First concert experience, they worried if the Army would be able to fill the venue. Really? Oh my God.
지금 너무 떨리고. 긴장해. 건들지 마요. 어리니까.
배 아파요?
Forza, you're getting me excited. Get me excited.
지금 떨리기 시작하는 거 보면 1시간 전이라니까. 안 떨려 보여요? 안 떨려 보여요?
Oh no.
그냥 남은 건 이제 제가.
That's a tremble you can't control. That's not a slight shake. That's your body is moving.
근데 이걸 내가 나를 펼친다니까.
All right, they're being honest. Nervous.
Thank you so much. You're such a great group. Suga, 사랑해요. 너무 사랑해요. 지민아, 사랑해요. 방탄소년단 파이팅. 완성되기 최고.
오늘만큼 우리가 세상에서 제일 멋있다. 알지? 그럼요. 야, 진짜 다들 열심히 했고, 진짜 멋있게 딱 보여줘 준다고. 파이팅, 진짜. 다 멋있어. 파이팅. 네.
I wonder if there's a video of this entire performance.
방탄소년단의 첫 번째 단독 콘서트 The Red Village 오신분들 진짜 환영합니다.
Wait, are they just walking out to Cypher? That's a ballsy move. Is that their intro song? Is Cypher? Part 3, obviously. Okay, just edit it that Adding some Indian flair. Okay. Cream boy.
트랙이 나오면 헤이러도 완전 안져 불법인 이 신의 이 곡은 한번 안져 더 빠지겠지면 Hey hey overrated 누가 나보고 욕하고 그래 이 상황이나 보고서 오르가 그래 나 모를 게 없어 다 보러가 그래 난 비트비트 위 위글위글링 지글지글링 디글디글지 비글비글 흥지글 디글링 비글비글 집에를 하는 shit that I don't care 다시 내 목소리 전도리 남자든 여자든 왜부터 한방을 원하는 유연한 전도리 뒷목이 다수 난 항상 정상 내 정상 세상 위 멈추지 않는 저기 누가 내 뒤에서 나를 연맥이던 니들이 서로 때 우리 세계에 나이를 얻으러 저먹은 애들 내기 전에서는 너도 내가 못 breaking 내가 못 breaking 어쨌든 저들은 가을에 새기던 이름은 꽃대기 대기에 새는 뻥기 쓰레기 Hey you do the match but no problem I care 난 웃기 위해 내 커비에 다 파괴를 잡죠
This is intense.
But I don't care You can't control my shit 불신을 잡아내 빗잡아내 다시 돌아왔지
Again, I just want to point out these are all 100% clean mics, zero effect on any of that. I know it's a lot of rapping, not a whole lot of harmonies and stuff like that, but a lot of time for even dramatic effect, they'll have a slight delay or a drop or a fade out or something like that. And these are 100% clean mics, and you can just tell essentially by how their voice changes, by how close the microphone is or not, how they say something and move it away, and it, the audio trails off. Intense stuff right there. And that's harder than it looks too. You got 8 people essentially bouncing around and jumping and bouncing raps back off of each other. And at the same time, they're able to, not exactly step on each other's feet, both, well, figuratively and literally. They're not stepping on each other's feet. They're also not overcrowding each other's verses as well. It's impressive to see. It's impressive to see, especially when it's done in a clean mic setting like that. Because essentially every SU pop off into the microphone, that all shows up, and I even heard some of it. Some of it's just unavoidable when you're moving around like that. But still, very clean performance. Very clean.
와우.
What is this?
저희 첫 번째 단톡 콘서트의 순간이 저도 끝나간다니까 저도 너무 아쉬운데 이제 아쉬운 대로 어떻게 한 마디씩 오늘은 더 좀 길게
뒤에 있으면서 약간 그런 생각을 많이 했는데 약간 이 가수라는 직업을 택하긴 쉽지 않잖아요. 근데 약간 이 가수라는 길은 약간 다른 직업보다는 약간 다른 것 같아요. 그냥 단순히 돈 버는 직업이 아니고
그렇죠.
이제 함께 이렇게 즐기면서 이 자신의 직업에 행복해하면서 이렇게 살아가기가 쉽지가 않잖아요.
그렇죠.
정말 여러분이 있어서 행복한 것 같아요. 여러분!
He's so sweet. Jimin is so sweet. So what exactly is happening right now? This is the end of this concert. It looks like they're having this little heart-to-heart moment with the audience. All the lights in the venue are up. There's nothing going on. They're just essentially just standing right there and what? Just talking with the audience, thanking them. It's kind of a cool moment. It's kind of a, it's just something you don't see very often in, performer versus audience relationships, where just the lights in the venue come up and you just have this kind of one-on-one with people. Pretty cool stuff. They do this a lot. They still do that? Really? Wow. So this is a thing that they just do fairly often. They do it at every at every concert, really? To this day. Wow. So Chad is telling me right now that BTS continues to do this even to today. And people wonder, how did they get so big? How did they get so massive? Why is their army so connected to them? Why are people so intense about this band in particular? And this is a major reason right here. Everything just stops. There's no backing music. There's no nothing. There's no production. It's literally turn on the house lights and let's just talk. No wonder people connect with them on a personal level. No wonder people see them more as just an artist and they have some sort of emotional connection to them as people. And I think it's because of moments like this. Well, let's see what else they have to say.
항상 같이 가주실 거죠? 같이 가주실 거죠?
진짜
울지 마, 울지 마, 울지 마.
아닙니다.
Oh no.
항상 이렇게 저희 가는 길 위에 이렇게 있어준다는 거 그 말 자체로 진짜 너무너무 감사드리고 진짜 너무너무 영광이고 행복하고
저희가 이제 여러분들 길 위에 같이 함께 있을 테니까 네 항상 힘이 되어드릴게요. 네, 그러니까 지켜봐 주시고 앞으로 더 힘드는 그런 정국이가 되겠습니다.
여러분 행복하세요? 지금 행복한지 아닌지 아리까리 하신 분 있어요? 지금 뭔가 행복한 것 같으면 그게 행복이에요. 어떻게 보면 사람은 항상 행복을 쫓으면서 살잖아요, 평생. 행복해져야지, 돈 많이 벌어야지, 결혼 잘해야지, 뭐 꿈을 이뤄서 내가 원하는 걸 해야지, 뭐 좋은 친구를 사귀어서 좋은 얘기 해야지, 맛있는 거 먹어야지, 그런 게 다 행복인데 그냥 저는 지금 이 순간이 행복인 것 같아요. 다른 게 아니라. 저는 지금 행복합니다. 여러분 행복하시죠? 진짜 행복하시죠? 여러분 덕분에 정말 너무 행복했던 콘서트 4일이었어요. 여러분 감사합니다. 사랑합니다.
감사합니다.
Awesome.
고마워요.
세상에서 제일 사랑합니다. 감사합니다. 아미가 짱이요.
나
진짜 아미밖에 없어.
There it is.
안녕.
사랑해요. 안녕.
안녕.
When you go. Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that? It sounded like they were talking to each other, like, look at the audience when you leave. Like, they're still kind of almost even getting used to what is it like to be in front of a large group of people? How do you, like, you know, not how do you connect, but how do you, like, you know, what are the right things you're supposed to be doing? Like, obviously you want to be looking at the people you're talking to. So as you're saying thank you, like, I think somebody, I didn't catch who it was, but they were saying, look at the audience as you're leaving. Picked up on mic. What a cool, sweet little moment right there. You know, they basically said, you know, if you stay with us, we will do our best to give you strength as well. You know, it's this energy that it seems to be like they're feeding off of each other. You know, it's this yin and yang thing. You know, BTS is feeding off of the energy of the army, and the energy of the army is feeding off of BTS. It's this crazy cycle that's going on. And it's wild to me that they still do this to this day, that they have this little, like, kind of open, not open form, but this little almost thank you or little heart to heart almost with their fans. And I like that little moment too with RM at the end too. He kind of just got you thinking a little bit. He's saying, you know, are you happy right now? Are you truly happy? Like, really, it got people, I mean, it got me thinking, you know, I'm like, am I happy watching this? So, I mean, I would assume it got the people in the audience very happy, or thinking as well, you know, what is happiness? And it's, you know, it is kind of about those little moments, good food, you know, meeting with friends, family, things like that. But to him, the happiest he can possibly be, and his pinnacle of joy is doing what he's right now in front of those other people, and creating this kind of art for them. And he wanted them to really come to the idea themselves that they were truly happy right then and there with them as well. So again, it's that feeding, you know. It pushes positivity, it pushes good feelings, good vibes all around. And I'm kind of at a loss for words that they do this and they continue to just keep doing this, because I would assume this is a 5-10 minute break of just talking, you know, which eats into set times and all that kind of stuff to worry about. But it seems like it's a decision they made in the beginning of their career, and they're still doing now. What a smart move. What a smart move. Yeah, Arm's just incredibly insightful. Oh my god, look at them. They're drained.
콘서트 때 남준이가 아미 여러분들께 행복하세요라고 물어봤는데 난 진짜 행복한 삶을 살고 있는 것 같다.
그래서 끝나고 난 뒤에도 정말 항상 우리가 흘리던 눈물보다는 정말 행복하고 즐겁구나, 콘서트라는 것을 정말 재밌는 거구나.
슈가가 항상 형님 가수는 콘서트예요 이러는데 진짜로 나는 그 말을 잘 이해를 못했는데 진짜 막상 해보니까 이제 알 거 기도 하다. 우리 처음 우리들의 무대를 보신 분들도
글을 써주어서 우연히 봤는데 처음 보신 분들은 방탄소년단 좋은 그룹인 것 같다고 그 글을 보고 나서 아 그때까지 연습했던 게 그냥 별 이유 없이 한 건 아니었구나.
연습을 되게 많이 하겠다. 그리고 꼭 그때는 더 발전되고 멋있어진 모습을 보여드리고 싶고 그만큼 꼭 노력을 하겠다. 하는 게 진짜 정답이지. 열심히 하겠습니다. 열심히 하자. 오바. 오늘 할 수 있다. 화이팅. 방탄소년단 전국의 로그 끝. 브이로그. 테테로그. 끝. 진일지 끝. 빠밤. 끝.
어두운 밤이 지나면 밝은 아침도 있듯이 알았어. 내일이 오면 밝은 빛이 비추니 걱정은 하지 말아줘. 이건 정지.
This is one of my favorite jams from School Love Affair. Reminds me of like a space rock jam. Beautiful harmonies. Yeah, Tamar, it's a badass track. It's impressive. You know, a track like that, like Tomorrow, I know that's not what we're talking about today. We did that reaction last time, but a track like that, like Tomorrow, even if you're, you know, you're not into this kind of music, like, you know, K-pop isn't your thing, you can just listen to that as an appreciative person of music in general and find something to pull from that. I think you can do that from a lot of these jams, honestly. But Tomorrow kind of stood out to me, and I thought, you know, I bet you a lot of my rocker friends would really enjoy this one. And not just because there's electric guitar and stuff like that going on. It's more of like just the dynamics of a jam like that, you know? There's interesting things to pull from it if you're just a fan of music in that art form in general. It's just people don't give them enough of a shot, you know? They were like me, you know? They just thought there's this, you know, polished, pretty version of something created by some studio halfway around the world with nonsense lyrics probably, and it's probably just a waste of my time. And it's a bummer, man. It's a bummer because like I really just want to like, I wish I could just like sit a lot of these people down and be like, can I just have like an hour of your time? Can I just have like an hour of your time and just go through some of these tracks that I've heard and just talk with people like, this is why that's cool from like even a producer's point of view, or, you know, a musician's point of view, or a poetic point of view even, like, and if you just like would give people, if people would just give them that kind of shot, I feel like they would, I mean, they're already one of the biggest bands in the world, but who knows what would happen then? It's just, are you willing to give them a shot? But Tomorrow, I feel, is like one of those jams like I could show to a lot of my friends that are into rock and metal, and they'd be like, okay, these guys might not be what I thought that they were. There's a couple other ones as well, but Tomorrow kind of has like that really nice spacey, like almost, yeah, like a space rock type of sound to it. I mean, and the harmonies, I don't care who you are, what music you listen to, it's pleasing to everybody, especially done like that. But we got a couple minutes left of this documentary. Let's keep going. Oh, what's happening next time? Venue's getting larger.
Welcome back, man. Alone.
Looks like he was on some other kind of variety show there as well. Is there more? Is it already happening? Persona will be the next one. Okay.
파트를 자체 슬로우 버전으로 안무와 함께 노래해보세요.
Taken literally.
바지에 뭐 들어간 거 아니야? 약간 저 뭐 해야 돼? 매트릭스 해야 될 것 같지 않아? 저 매트릭스 잘 안 돼. 야, 스텝 한번 해봐. TV에는 우리 나오는 건가? 엄마, 저 TV 나가고 있어요.
Hell yeah. Man, that was a fun one, but these ones are always good, you know? The Rise of Bangtan, this whole documentary series, out of all the ones I've seen, it's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. They do such a great job of telling story, just telling the story, especially for this timeline. It's for a guy like me, this is absolutely perfect that this sort of thing is out there. And I guess it's perfect for anybody going through this BTS journey for the first time. This is like the perfect documentary to watch if you really want to get an idea of like how did it become this sort of phenomenon. This one in particular, though, Chapter 7, Cypher, was fun. It was fun to see. It was cool to see them, you know, their hard work starting to actually pay off on a much larger international level here, man. You know, they're starting to get fans and be able to play these big venues and literally have, you know, 5,000 people in these venues. I'm not sure if that was for one show or if that was spread out for 3 shows, but still, those are impressive numbers. You know, there's a big difference between playing in front of, you know, even 500 or 1,000 people to, you know, a couple thousand people. Like there's a different energy in the room. There's different acoustics. There's different dynamics. There's all sorts of different things that you have to kind of account for. And plus, when you see a sea of people that you're in front of that you have to entertain, or they're there to see you, like it puts your nerves at a completely different level. I forget which guy it was, but they showed him his hand trembling, and I was like, oh man, that's not a slight shake. That's a body shaking movement. Like that's almost like a borderline terrified of what's gonna happen. I felt for him, but I was excited for him at the same time because obviously I know how this story ends. You know, I know where this story is going, and apparently just the albums get better, the story gets bigger, and there's a million more just, you know, humble, cool moments. You know, speaking of those humble, cool moments, you know, when they went to, you know, the grandmother compound, I'm gonna call it, or the old folks village or whatever that was, and they were dropping off food and they were like talking with them. That was just such a genuinely cool thing to see and watch them do. You know, someone in chat said they didn't have money just yet to throw at the problem. You know, they couldn't just like, hey, here's a couple $1,000, go, you know, fix your, you know, your apartment up or whatever. They brought the food, and then they put, you know, more actual hard work into cleaning their places themselves. You know, and it's endearing. It's so sweet. It's so, I think, yeah, sweet is the right word. You know, watching them up there just cleaning the grease off the walls and the dust and stuff that would just be hard for an old lady to get up to. You know, sometimes these things seem like they're, you know, they're photo shoots, you know, they're there for the photo op or whatever. I didn't get that vibe from this. I got more of like a down to earth kind of humble, like they just want to do the right thing. Like at their core beliefs and at their core who they are as people, it's just something they kind of align with. And I mean, everything I've seen so far kind of tells me that's what that is. From the documentaries to the lyrics to everything. But what an incredibly beautiful, sweet moment that was. That was probably my favorite. And it was great to see them continuing to try and give back. And I'm excited to learn about how they give back and what sort of charity things they do in the future. I'm sure there's probably a lot of them. I know for a fact they had some UN addresses and things like that I still haven't checked out, that I will once I get up to that era of BTS. But I know that they do some pretty cool things with charity, and I know the ARMY is directly intertwined in that as well, and they've done some amazing things as well in correlation with BTS. Again, it's this massive amount of energy that is just feeding off of each other. BTS to the ARMY and back and forth, and it's like, you know, I mean, I've been a part of a lot of fandoms as far as like reacting to videos and seeing, you know, people be, you know, really into their band or their artist or whatever. And, you know, obviously every group has them, but there's something a little bit different about the BTS ARMY and other armies I've encountered. And it's I'm just gonna say it's literally beautiful to see, and it's one of the reasons I'm incredibly fascinated with just this as a whole. You know what I mean? Not even just the music or the BTS or the ARMY. It's like as a whole, you know. It's just it's beautiful. But this was a great documentary, great episode, very engaging, a lot of fun, and getting them to start getting that recognition, that international success, man. It was just like, it made me, I don't know, it made me excited for them. Like, all right, here we go. It's starting to pay off. You know, those 18-hour days, like, it feels like you do that for a couple of weeks and you have nothing to really show for it, or maybe a small change may have happened that maybe you don't think anybody will even notice, but there's, the dominoes are in motion, you know, like it's all leading up to something big. But yeah, beautiful. I'm excited to see the next one as well. I'm going to go through every single one of these if you guys don't know by now, I'm gonna go through every single one of the Rise of Bangtan series, and I'm gonna follow it up with basically the album from that era or that episode. And I'm also going to follow it up with special dance practices, behind the scenes videos, and just hopefully one day, I saw in chat here saying I need to check out some live material. One day, maybe I can talk to Susie and the gang, the people that helped me out. Maybe I can talk to them about putting together an entire concert from this era. A really good one that correlates between the first 4 albums we're about to listen to. You know, with those kind of songs in there, so it's lined up in the timeline. From start to finish, and to see what a whole concert is like from the very beginning to the end, what kind of things that they do, how they have the stamina to keep up with it. I'm very curious to see how a production like that is even put together. So, but this was a fun one. So I think what I'm going to do now is, let me see who's going on. Yes, Jim, we have the first one. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Susie. Yeah, Susie's freaking amazing in helping me out with this stuff, guys. Seriously. Million thanks to Susie, Sua, and K Venus for putting this whole thing together for us. It's incredible. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop this video, but hang tight, because I know you guys, I got what, 600 or so you guys on Twitch. Hang tight. Just chill right here on Twitch. I'm literally just going to change the stream tag, and the stream is going to boot right back up again, and we are going to listen to the Dark and Wild album in its entirety from start to finish. We're going to go through the lyrics. We're going to talk about, we're going to nerd out about all the things I like to nerd out with these albums. And we're going to start that in just a few minutes. So if you're here right now, hang tight, just sit right there, grab a coffee or something. I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. If you're watching later on YouTube and you enjoyed your time with me, please consider liking and subscribing. It would help me out a ton, and I would truly appreciate it. If you'd like to be part of our community, I'm going to have my Discord link down in the comments, or down in the comment section, or down in the description video, or whatever that part is down below the video. I'm doing this for like a year. I amaze myself sometimes. Down below where my head's at, you'll see a link to the Discord, which is where our community thing is. You'll see it. Well, maybe not. I don't know. You gotta scroll down. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, hang tight, guys. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom, and Dark and Wild, guys. Live reaction, start to finish. Hope you guys are ready. Be right back.